The symbolism of the bat. Order Chiroptera Mammalia. Bats have inhabited the earth for over 50 million years. It is the second largest order of mammals after rodents, and comprise 20% of all classified mammal species, with over 1,400 species of bat. In terms of symbolism, bats hold a complex place in history. In the West, bats are known to symbolize death and rebirth, and are sometimes known as the guardian of the night. Its association with rebirth and death comes as it is a creature that lives in the belly of the earth, the mother. And from the womb-like cave, it emerges every night at dusk, and so from the womb it is reborn every evening. It is also a symbol of communication, as many Native American tribes observe the bats to be highly social creatures with strong family ties, displaying very nurturing behavior, exhibiting strong verbal communication, touching, and sensitivity to other members of its group. The bat is also associated with medicine. Bat medicine teaches us to release fear and any pattern which no longer fits within our pattern of growth. Much folklore has cast the bat in a negative role. No more telling than the Western culture, where the bat is seen as associated with medieval witchcraft texts and described as familiars, and in old European lore it was associated with vampirism. But bats are not always portrayed as evil in world mythologies. In Chinese folklore, for example, bats are a symbol of good luck and fortune, and the Chinese word for bat sounds identical to the word for good fortune, making bats a very popular animal. 5 bats together often represent the 5 blessings, being long life, wealth, health, love of virtue, and peaceful death. But bats are also represented in folklore from Samoa, Greek, the islands of Sierra Leone, the Apache, and Cherokee, all portraying bats in a very favorable light. Traditional Navajo folklore places the origin of bats in the earliest in the world, when all was dark. 12 insects and bats revolved in the darkness. The bat serves as a mentor of night and is identified with the talking god, one of their foremost deities. Christianity and the origins of bats are intertwined in the Mohammedan legend that Christ created a bat while keeping fast at Ramadan. During this time, eating food between sunrise and sunset is forbidden, and because the mountains obscured the western sky, Jesus could not tell when the sun had set. With God's permission, he fashioned the winged likeness of a bat from clay and breathed life into it. The bat flew to a nearby cave, but each night emerged at sunset, telling Jesus that it was time to take food. In legends from India, the bats were originally a type of unhappy bird, and these birds went to the temples and prayed to be turned into humans. Their prayers were answered, but only partially. They were given teeth, hair, and human faces, but otherwise remained bird-like. They were thus ashamed to meet other birds, and now are only active at night, returning to the temples in the daytime and praying to be turned back into birds. In a fable of Aesop, the bat borrows money for a business venture that fails, and now the bat must hide during the day to avoid its creditors. In modern mythology, the bat has come to represent vigilante behavior and a form of dark justice, in the form of the DC Comics character Batman. In Mayan mythology, the bat god is Cama-Zotz, the name itself meaning death bat. Typically in Mesoamerica, the bat is associated with night, death, and sacrifice.